All right, I actually got it up and it's actually going. And I'm bouncing the shit out of the table. That's going to be great. Okay, well, whatever. What the hell ever. What the hell ever. It's going to happen.
To whom are you speaking?
To you. I'm speaking to whom? Who the fuck are you? The Queen of England? I'm speaking.
Bow down, bitch.
You're the only one. Oh, God. What is that? Why is that on there? Oh, okay. All right. I got to go and tell people that I'm here, but I'm late. I'm late.
You have to go proselytize yourself?
No, the proselytize would be if I was trying to give stuff about a religion. Oh, hello, people that are here. I will not proselytize to you. All right. Mr. Jen was just using the word incorrectly. I'm scattered again because I just got home. I'm always scattered. Hello, Penny. I just got home from going to my friend Adele's house. And I love Adele very much. And this thing is so frozen. It's like supposed to be like a...
It's so frozen you can sing
Oh, thank you. It's so frozen I can sing a song about it. The Disney musical. It is Adele Dazeem level frozen. But I've got this problem too. I got real problems tonight, guys. Real problems. So many problems. I'm trying to tweet about this. I'm trying to tweet that I'm just gonna say, all right, I'm gonna say Fitshaced Fortuneteller is happening on my YouTube channel.
He used to.
But I don't have a link because I'm disorganized. Boom. All right. So that's what's happening. Holy cow. I was far away. I was far away from home. Oh yes, these my daughter reliably informs me are called space buns. And they're what Mom calls, I gotta do something else with my hair because it's getting really too long. And it's boring to have it in and ponytails are like breaking my hair. Problems, right? Okay, so now I gotta open up the thing that shows me all the stuff. Ooh, that was a dirty thing.
Yeah, it
No. Mr. Jen, I'm gonna send you out to the store. For cigarettes for 9 years. All right. I'm getting it taken care of. Okay. I swear I'm getting it taken care of. No, I don't want notifications. I just want to open the God blessed file. God bless America.
I think you should stop doing that so last second.
It wouldn't have been last second, except for I was at a party. Anyway,
Last week.
while that loads, I was at a party, and we are doing, because, okay, my friend Adele, I can say this, because I know she's not watching it right now, because there are people at her house, so if she was watching it, then, like, she would find out, but she's not watching it this week, because she's got people at her house. So, she just does everything, like, everything. So, for her birthday party, made a thing, everybody who came to her party paint by numbers kits. Like she drew the thing, she like did software and she put it on like transfer paper and she like used this board and she put like gesso on the board and then like hand transferred all of that stuff. So if you can tell what this is, I would be surprised. But if you can guess what this paint by number is going to be a thing of when it's finished. Dun, dun, dun. But it was for her birthday party. I was like, maybe we should be doing something for your birthday party rather than, but yeah, she's really cool. She's awesome. Adele's amazing. And for like several years, my daughter thought that she was the singer Adele. So she like really was like into Adele's music. And then one day she said something about like, I love Adele when she comes on the radio. And I realized she started talking again. I realized she thought Adele was Adele the singer. That we knew Adele the singer. And anyway. That's where I was tonight. Okay, so we're going to start from the top this time because last time I started from the bottom. So I'll start with, yes, it is the 13th Doctor, Kiana. You got it. It is the 13th Doctor. That is exactly what it is. It is the 13th Doctor based on, wait for it because she printed out guides for us that included all the colors there. It will be like that when it's done. So, anyway, that was very cool, but that's what she wanted to do for her birthday. And so she did all the work. All right. Let's talk about this person's dick landlord. Not mine, because my landlord is awesome. My landlords are fantastic. The only time they, like, you know, I ever have any sort of issue is one time I came home and they were both on the roof of the garage, and that was just, oh my God, what if I had come home and they were both dead in the yard? They're great. They're the best. I'm glad they weren't dead in the yard. So this is somebody says they have a dick landlord and they need to know about it. All right, my landlord is a dick. He routinely denies he said or did things, blames and gaslights tenants, and ignores them for months when they need things fixed or pay fines. When I got through to his bosses to dispute a fine, they kept saying he's a nice guy, weirdly, while staring at me creepily. I'm going to be ignored for months. Should I plan to move? I'm low income, and the Section 8 wait list is closed for 2 more years. All right. Let's find out what's up with this person and their living situation. Okay. Oh, I should probably drink too, since this is... I got this grown-up Capri Sun at the liquor store. I don't know if I'm supposed to put it in a thing or if I can just eat it out of a tube like an astronaut. This is gonna go badly.
Yeah.
That might not be appropriate for... I did look like I was giving a blowy.
You know, why is the word prostitute and proselytize?
Prostitute and proselytize, why are they so close?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea why they're similar. The magic of the English language. That's true. Capri Sun is for everybody. Oh no, Frozen? This Frozen or this Frozen? Hang on. We'll try to fix it. Frozen,
Oh.
You're thinking that because the people froze to death. Yikes. Okay. So hopefully that fixes everything. I hope. This person's landlord is a dick. Let's figure it out. What should they do? What should this person do about their dick landlord? We'll do... Yeah, we'll do 3 cards on this one. This one is going to be... Miss Wednesday, you're not supposed to be on the feed. Does Baba know that you're on the computer? Ma'am, does Baba know you're on there? Anyway... Oh, hey, Adele's here! I was just complaining about how much work you put into your own birthday. If Baba doesn't know that you're on the computer, you better get off the computer.
You know,
I'm just saying. Alright, so let's go. 3 cards. This is going to be what the problem is, how it's going to advance, or how the next few months are going to be, and what your options are, okay? So, all right, so here we go. So this is what the problem is, how things are gonna go in the next few months, and what you got to do. Okay, so all of these, now that I'm looking at them, we have the first one that comes up is the Queen of Wands reversed. So the things that you I have to eat my drink with a spoon tonight. It seems like the problem here, based on the fact that it is the Queen of Wands showing up, I always say the Queen of Wands is intention into action, or that Wands to me read as intention that becomes action, or what have you, or is transitioning into action. The problem seems to be that you've got a guy who is a nice guy, because it says in here he's a nice guy. And maybe he did start out with great intentions about like being a good landlord and getting off on the right foot with you. He doesn't fucking care anymore. And it's not even that he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about his fucking job at all. And he's not gonna get the caring back or anything like that. There's not gonna be. And the thing with his boss is saying, well, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I kind of wonder if they're not covering for him, but going like, oh, he's nice, so that they're not saying anything for when they might want to get rid of him. I don't know. There's a strong feeling of that. The way things are going to go, Three of Wands reversed is sort of inability to move on. So if it's not stemming from this incident, it will be stemming from another incident that these bad feelings are not going away. The situation is not going to improve. And you are kind of stuck. That's the other thing, is you are kind of stuck. The not knowing if you're going to go or if you're going to stay, you're not going to get a clear sign. There's not going to be something that's like, that's the final straw. I got to take off these nerd machines because they're like digging a hole in the back of my skull. Anyway, so, basically nothing's going to improve. You're not going to get a huge sign. There's not going to be something where something pushes you over the edge and now you absolutely have to. You must, in fact, stop, even this is the final straw. That's not going to happen. It's just going to be the same bullshit. So if what you're worried about is that things are going to get worse and get worse and get worse, that's not necessarily the case, at least not for the next few months. But what you're ultimately going to have to do, you got the Dracula card, the 5 of Draculas. When it's like this way, see this? I always say it's like, oh, well, you're looking at just the bad stuff and not the good stuff. When it's this way, what I'm thinking is that you might actually recover what you lost, if that makes sense. If there was a place that you liked better, or a neighborhood you liked better, or something like that, or a building you liked better before you got this into this place, it might actually be opening up again. You might actually end up, when you do move, getting into a place that you like better. So that's a good sign, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen within the next few months. It doesn't look like it's going to happen really quick. It just looks like it's going to be a lot of the same old annoyances and stuff that don't necessarily escalate. But eventually, you are going to get tired of it. You are going to want to move, and it looks like you're going to be moving someplace that maybe you checked out before, or you had wanted to get into before and you weren't able to. So, and actually, it occurs to me, since you said Section 8, it might actually be a program. It might be another program that you're able to get into or something. So, basically, yeah, to sum up, no big changes, but not all is lost. You're not going to be trapped there forever. Okay. Hey, did I do the what's going on with my mom thing? I think I did. I think I did the mom thing before. I think I did that one. It sounds very familiar. So, we'll do... Will my husband's new job finally get us to a stable place? Did I do that one? Let me know if I did those two, and if I just forgot them. All right. What do I have to do to meet someone romantically? Or is it single in the womb, single to the tomb for me? Let's find out. Let's take a look. Let's figure it out. Let's see. Yeah, husband's new job, and then I know that the mom one we did, because the person emailed me about it. And I'm sorry I haven't responded to that email. I'm not ignoring you. I just have no fucking, what do you call it? Executive function at this point. So I will get back to you, I promise. Look, I've got all this breakage on my hair there. Look at that, see? Like, it makes it look like I'm in one of those Jane Austen movies, and that they've cut, like, the little front of the wig to try to make it look... Anyway. Yikes. I'm a fucking mess, guys. Alright. So, let's talk about this person's love life. We'll do a 10 card on the love life. Why not? Why the fuck not? Let's do it. Oop. 10 cards on this person's love life. Okay. This looks like it's going to be a tough love spread, like, right out of the gate. So, remember, 1, I am just the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger in this case, okay? And then 2, if you don't like what you hear, it's all fucking fake. Kiana, you can put your question in, and if I do get to it tonight, I'll get to it, and then if I don't, it still stays in the box for next week. All right. So anyway, like I said, this is tough love. We're starting out with justice reversed. You are in a place where you do feel like things are deeply unfair. You feel like you're missing out on something, but it's not even, you feel left out of something. You're being left out of something is the feeling. And you're crossed by the devil, which is a sort of like a bondage thing, but not the good kind of bondage. Take a look here. These people, they could get out of those chains anytime they want. So what I always look at this as it is kind of the consistency of applesauce. It kind of like, I thought it was going to be more like a blended drink, but it's really more like a snow cone. And I don't want to necessarily wait for it to melt to drink it. And I have a beer here, but I also don't want to drink that because these didn't get put in the refrigerator at all, did they? Anyway, I don't want to drink that and then go back to the liquor, you know, because like beer before liquor never been sicker. You know what I mean? Anyway, what I'm seeing here is that your feelings of like you've been left out, like you've been denied something, like something is unfair, is leading to you just restricting yourself. You're putting a lot of limitations on yourself. I don't want to be like, oh, you're bitter, but the cards are kind of like, it's kind of bitter and stuff like that. So the thing too that this can come with is that if you are in a place where you are feeling bad about stuff, you are kind of down, if you are using substances. Hi, Sybil, what's up? If you are using substances, this could also be a problem. And I don't mean like getting drunk on YouTube for fun and shits and giggles. I mean like if you are abusing substances, that card can come up sometimes. Now, if that's not the case, it could just be that you are placing limitations upon yourself in terms of, you know, just feeling kind of like, nothing's happening for me. All right. The best that can happen is a feeling that somebody's always pitying you. That's a thing. It's kind of like a feeling that like when this person comes along, you're gonna be like, oh well, you know, I better take what I can get, or like this is my consolation prize, and you're gonna, you know, you don't want to feel like that when that person shows up, right? Looking into the past, you have. If you have had romantic relationships prior, okay, then they haven't been great. And when I say not great, I mean like exhausting, bad breakups. Kristen, what you need to do if there's a Frankenstein is you need to call TAPS immediately. Because they deal with the Frankensteins. Not the paranormal side. They deal with it being, you know, like, I don't know, the plumbing. Frankenstein's about plumbing. Ooh, that actually is hitting kind of hard, and I don't know if it's because it's like, what do you call it? Purim's a holiday, right? Right, Sybil? Since Bunny was asking, it's a holiday, but it's not in my scope and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna pause right here because Kristen is talking about a thing that happened when I was in labor with my daughter. It was Halloween night, and they were doing this live, this live ghost hunters thing with the TAPS people. And you could push a button on the website, and they'd be like, if you saw anything paranormal, you know, like push a button or send your comments and your questions too. So I was like in the early stages of labor, like really, really early. And I was just laying on the couch, and my friend Jill was using refrigerator magnets, like the ABC refrigerator magnets, to push into my swollen legs to spell stuff, because that's supportive. And then then Kristen was on the fucking computer asking TAPS about, like, you know, what happens if there's a Frankenstein? What do you do? Is there a procedure in place for a Frankenstein? I think I see a Frankenstein. And then every time I'd have a contraction, we'd hit the button. And then there was a guy wearing a dipshitty hat. I was like, tell him to take off his stupid hat. And then, like, after a commercial break, his hat was off. It was hilarious. Anyway, back to the reading. Either shit wasn't great, or you have felt like you are constantly being beaten down. Just like, I'm just constantly fending off, you know, all of these catastrophes, and it's awful. And you've gotten to the point where you're like, maybe I should just fucking give up. I don't know. Like, you want to hold out hope, but you feel like it's kind of too tiring. Like, what's the point here? Why am I trying to decide whether or not, you know, you're kind of at a decision thing where you're like trying to decide whether or not you're just going to give up forever. You're not going to give up forever. But you are starting to get tempted that maybe there's something that you might be tempted to forge ahead in a relationship where the things that you value and the things that you find worthwhile are put on the back burner. And that feeds into this whole thing. And the sort of take what you can get kind of thing. So that's not good. Let's see how we avoid that. Oh, okay. Now we're cooking with gas. One of the things I'm going to say right away here is that you know what, I'll wait till we get to that card. It just hit me so strongly I almost just jumped ahead with it. Like, okay, I'm going to tell you about the 9th card before we get to the 7th card. 7th card, okay, this is a great card to have. This guy is in control. This guy has everything, because not only does he have the infinity loop thing above his head, he has every single suit of the tarot is right here. See? There's the pentacle, there's the cup, there's the sword, there's the staff or the wand, whatever you're going to call it. This basically means you have everything. You are holding on at this point to your entire destiny. But you haven't been listening to yourself. You actually might have more insight than you think you do. You're just not letting yourself believe it. You're not letting yourself listen to your inner voice type thing. Part of this is because you seem to be a little bit afraid. There might be some family issues behind the scene, and you might not have really a lot of great role models in terms, you might not have great role models when it comes to romance. And as a result, you might feel like any romantic partner or any sort of idea of a romantic future is expendable because it's not real, if that makes sense. Like, it's never destined to work out. I took my glasses off, and now I feel like the bridge of my nose is expanding, like, at an alarming fucking rate. The thing is, the final card you've got here is Temperance, okay? I think that this is in response to the fact that your question was so extreme. Am I going to be single in the womb, single to the tomb? Like, that's a big fucking span. Unless you die real early, that's a long time, okay? So, yeah, I do. I need to go get them, like, fixed. I need to go get them, like, bent. Like, I need them to bend my glasses to the... I need them to, like, where they have that hot thing and then they bend it and you're like, please don't break my fucking glasses. Guy who works at the mall. I don't know why I get my eyes done at the mall. I know that they're doctors. Okay, it just seems weird that they're at the mall. It seems weird that I can be like, oh, I'm gonna go get my eyes checked and then I'm gonna go to Sbarro's. And get the garlic sauce because it's fucking rad. They charge like $1.75 for a goddamn little dip cup of garlic sauce. Like, just give me some garlic sauce. Okay, anyway. The point of this being, you're being kind of extreme in your attitudes, and that might tie into some of the pessimism that you're feeling. That is going to cause you to sort of settle. You don't want that. There is somebody out there, because here's the thing. This card wouldn't have come up for you. This card wouldn't have been like, you have control of this and everything's gonna be cool. That wouldn't have come up, and the just listen to yourself, listen to your heart and all that stuff, and what you know is true and blah blah. None of that would have come up if there was nobody out there for you. All right. What this is saying right now is just, take some patience, take some time, and maybe realize that there is a middle of the road, because there is a difference between having romantic difficulties at the present and dying alone and tragically. And even then, I want to say, because I get a lot of romance questions that are like, am I ever going to find somebody and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I totally understand that feeling. I totally understand the feeling of like, it's never gonna happen, I'm gonna be alone forever. Oh my God, what if I die alone? I know that sounds weird because I've been with my husband for a long time. It's just like, I kind of understand the feeling of, is this thing ever gonna happen, right? So, I get that. However, I lost my train of thought. I've been eating this alcoholic slushy like nobody's business but my own. No, basically, I know what I wanted to say. Even if something happened and you never had romantic love in your life, that would suck if that's something you really wanted and you didn't get it. But please don't ever think that your life doesn't have meaning or impact if you never find that special someone. That's not in the cards. That's just me. That's just me saying some shit that I was gonna say. It's for you guys. I was with my friends tonight, so I'm singing everything, because I sing a lot. Man, I sang something really funny about blowjobs right before I left. I can't remember what it was. Oh shit, I hope Wednesday's not still on here. Wednesday, go to bed. If you're still on here, go to bed. Alright. Okay. Where we go? Alright. Let's, I'm gonna clear this deck and have a little smoky poo. I'm just gonna clear the deck a little bit. It's starting to feel loud. If you are a reader, you might understand the idea of your deck starting to feel a little loud. And that is when you have done a lot of readings with it. Some people clear their deck after everything and they spray. Like, I have spray that I do sometimes. I don't know where I put it. I gotta make some more. And it's just like, oh my God, I gotta, like, fucking get out the tea kettle and brew a fucking potion and all this shit, and it's complicated. But, if you, But some readers clear their cards in between every client, in between every reading. I don't. And then they start to feel loud. They start to feel like a lot of echoes from past readings, where you'll go, am I reading the same reading that I was reading? It feels like I am. Now, on my pay ones, I do. I don't sit here and, like, read for my paying clients all day. Not that you guys aren't as important as my paying clients. I'm just not usually super drunk. I'm never super drunk when I'm doing stuff for my paying clients. Sorry, this takes a long time. And I feel like I don't have anything right to say. But I do. I'm a bright person. Usually. Yeah, right. Usually, I'm not drunk when somebody's going to find a typo in one of their readings and be like, I knew that bitch drunk. This shit is fake. Only if you don't like the outcome. That's how you change the outcome. That is a negative affirmation. It's if you have a hard time thinking positive, think negative, because negative stuff will happen. So if you don't want something to happen, that's why I say if I get a card spread that I don't like, I'm like, that's not going to happen because it's all fake. And then that energy is out there that I don't believe it's going to happen. So it doesn't. So I call it negative affirmation. I know that doesn't make sense. I know that's an oxymoron, but hey, what you going to do? I got glue on my arm. That was not from the party. That was from the project I was doing that caused me to be late to the party, which I'm going to have to do a thing for the... Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. Just, you know, like, tell people that it was me. Because for a while, one of my quotes was being sold on a poster that you could buy off of Walmart.com. And it annoyed me. Because it was like, even though it quoted me, it's like, why are you making money? And then I'm gonna take a look. There was a romance one. I'm gonna not do another romance one right away. Okay? Just so everybody knows. Ah, this is a really good one. Alright, here we go. This one I can ask. Answer pretty easily. Because people are goofy. Alright, where is it? Because the sad Dracula card's here. Somebody asked, why is Dracula so sad on the sad Dracula card? Now here's the sad Dracula card, the 5 of Cups, right? This is how I always feel about sad Dracula. Sad Dracula is sad because he is focused only on what he's lost. He is focused only on what he doesn't have anymore. He's not seeing what he still has, and he's not seeing that he can easily get back to his castle. There's a bridge. So he can always get on that bridge and get the fuck over it. Like, but he's too focused there. So that's what Dracula is sad about in the sad Dracula card. Kablamo. Somebody asked, will the Mister be as big a hit as 50 Shades, or will it flop? Now, this is an interesting... here's an interesting thing that I'm going to answer, because I don't know, you know, for sure. And it's not something I'll use my pendulum for this. But I am, before we ask, I am inclined to say that no, it won't, just because nothing is ever going to be as big as 50 Shades. Now, like, I mean, I don't mean nothing like no other book. Because, you know, because we always say that. We always say, like, Twilight. Oh, nothing's ever going to be as big as Twilight. Nothing's ever going to be as big as Harry Potter. Nothing's ever going to be as big as 50 Shades. Something will eventually be as big as 50 Shades. It won't be one of E.L. James's book, because we do not see repeat success from polarizing authors like that. We don't see J.K. Rowling repeating her success, probably because there's, like, nothing to fucking put in the books, because it's all on her goddamn Twitter. Nobody, you know, there was no next big thing for... So it would surprise me if I do this and it says, yes, it's going to be as big a hit or bigger. I don't think it will. The title annoys me. And I don't usually get annoyed when there are titles that are, like, similar to mine, to the titles of my books. And, like, The Thing is... Everybody does that. Like... Everybody does The Thing. Like, Tiffany Rice's whole thing is The Thing. You know, not The Thing, like the, like, you know, but, you know, so, but it just annoys me that E.L. James does it. Like, there's on Amazon, if you type in The Boss, there's, like, hundreds of romances called The Boss. But I'm so mad that E.L. James is even doing the noun. I feel like, stop it! Stop it! I don't want to even think about about you in that. Even in the same breath as I think about the Mister, and I think about my books that are the noun, and your book is the noun. I don't want to have a noun. I don't want to have nouns in common with you, E.L. James. I want so little in common with you. I don't want nouns. So, anyway. People are asking, will I do the Mr. on Jealous Haters book club? You know what? I have Jealous Haters book club going. I have that copyright thing that I still gotta kind of like let everybody in on, and my concerns about copyright going forward on the blog, especially with Jealous Haters book club, because I don't necessarily want someone to go, oh, hey, I can sue her because she used way too much or whatever. Before Jealous Haters book club keeps going, I will probably, so I don't know, maybe I'll read it on Twitter and just tweet on Twitter about it. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I definitely don't want to get so mired down in it as I did with 50 Shades of Grey. I don't want to stop doing Jealous Haters book club, but I have to maybe cover my ass a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do a reading on it. You know? Okay, so let's figure this out. I'm just going to do a pendulum reading really quick. There's no good way for you guys to see this, so sorry. Don't start going, no, like I'm not actually sorry. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Okay, hang on. Will the Mister be as big a hit as 50 Shades? This is the first part of the question. And I'm getting a no on the first part of the question. Now, will it flop? This one's also going to surprise me. We'll see what it says. Will it flop? Mm-mm. It will not flop. I did not think so. If it had said yes, I would have been shocked. It's going to sell. It's going to be a #1 New York Times bestseller. It's going to be a #1 USA Today bestseller, a #1 Wall Street Journal bestseller. It's going to sell. It's going to be a newsworthy bestseller. It's going to be a flop in comparison to 50 Shades. But we cannot judge books based on 50 Shades of Grey. It won't be as big for her, but we can't judge, okay, it's not 50 Shades of Grey, therefore it flopped. It's probably going to follow Stephanie Meyer's career success and be like the fucking host. You know, where it's still a big book, but just not as big. But I, honest to God, was surprised that the next book was not about aliens. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna burp. No, it's another author that rips off alien stuff. I'm a bitch! I'm gonna get white girl off of this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay. What will the upcoming Awakening Delilah Blade Trasket crossover be like? Why are you guys like this? Why are you guys like this? No, but thank you for giving me a chance to plug Awakening Delilah, which is my book that was re-released on Tuesday of this week, I think, and then I immediately stopped thinking about it. But all right. All right, here's some administrative stuff. When will another Jenny Plays The Sims video be up? Okay, this isn't a fortune teller question. I'm just curious. Started months ago and left it hanging, and that's fine, or whatever, but some closure would be nice. I have another video of The Sims, of Jenny Plays The Sims, and I had uploaded the wrong one where I didn't edit out a huge chunk of me just sitting there not able to remember how to get the cheats or something like that because it's super high. And I'm like, I don't know how to get the cheats. How do I do this? And it's just me quiet and like breathing heavily in the thing. So I uploaded it and then I realized there was something wrong with it. So then I went back and I got the right one. And I was like, yeah, I'll get this saved and exported or whatever. And I did, and then I went and I uploaded it, but I uploaded the wrong one again. So then I was like, ah, but I still gotta upload it. Okay, so there's that. That's the thing that it. A loud deck. You mean like a large dick, like a New Zealander? Yeah. So that's funny. I saw somebody just asked a question about the afflicted. I will get back to it. Here's the thing. And I'm not going to go graphic on this. And, but there was a death in my family when I was writing The Afflicted. And it fucked me up. And I couldn't get back into writing it. And I'm like 2 chapters away from the end. And it just, when I go back to try to write it, I get the bad feelings. And that was like 2 years ago, you know? But I go back to write it and I'm like, oh, I remember this is where I left off. And I went upstairs to go to bed and then the phone rang every time I sit down to write it. So when that feeling goes by, I will abso-fucking-lutely get back to The Afflicted because I wanted to write that so much. So much. I wanted to write that so bad. Anyway, now I'm looking through here to see. I'm looking through here to get the thing with like all the little questions that you guys have. Okay, let's just do this one. Will my electric bill get paid? This is another pendulum one. We don't have to do a tarot cards on this one. This is an easy yes or no. I hope it does. All right. Will my electric bill get paid? I'm getting a yes, but it's a very shaky one. So, wait. Will this person who asked the question, will their electric bill get paid? Yeah, I'm still getting the shake. Okay, I knew what I was talking about. Kind of a shaky one. Yes, but I don't know what the shakiness means. It could mean that it's going to be right down to the wire. It could mean that you're going to have to pay a late fee, something like that. If you have a GoFundMe or something, put the link. Just post the link right here in a comment. You know, I would, if I did not have my own GoFundMe going for legal representation over some dumbest fucking thing. It could have easily been handled with a cease and desist to alert me to the issue. But, all right, somebody said, will my surgery go well? Let's do this one. You know what? No, actually, that's kind of serious. Let's do what they need to know about their surgery. 3 cards. What you need to know about your surgery. I don't know. How about just 3 cards freeform? We'll see what it fucking says. 3 cards about this person's surgery. No particular order. Just tell us about this person's surgery. Hopefully they didn't have it last week. All right. 3 cards about this person's surgery. Ooh. Feeling a little lightheaded. Oh my. Okay. That's not a bad oh my. That's not a bad oh my. It looks like it's gonna go okay. You've got the 10 of Wands, which is very like, ugh. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be, not necessarily like a horrible rough recovery or anything like I mean like it's just gonna be rough. It's not gonna be like catastrophic, if that makes sense. It's just gonna be like, ugh, like it's gonna be, you've got a lot, like you've got a fucking lot. But the thing is, this is a 10. This is the last of the numerical cards in the suit, which means a coming to an end type thing. So, I have to burp. I already burped. I burped and then I told you that I had to burp. Welcome to Drunk Tarot. 7 of Swords, reversed. You are not going to get out of anything easy. You're not scraping by on this. You're not going to be like, you know, like, woo, everything worked out like so good that there's like no like fucking further sort of physical effort required on my part. I feel like if this means, if this card is here, if it means like, because I don't know what your surgery is, but I get a very strong feeling of physical therapy behind it. I mean, don't tell me. Don't be like, yes, you know, whatever, because then it'll feel like, you know, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to share your fucking, I'll feel like a HIPAA violation, basically, if you fucking do that right there. But, what I'm going to say is if it requires rehabilitation, it's going to be a hard rehabilitation, and it's going to require more than you expect. Alternately, there might be more complications in your recovery if it's not like a thing where you have to then go and have physical therapy. If it's like an appendix or tonsils out or something like that, you might get an infection. You might end up, you know, making a trip back to the emergency room type thing. I don't see anything life-threatening at all. Just, you know, you just might have a couple setbacks. And you won't recover. The recovery won't be as easy as you're hoping. However, Kablamo, 8 of Wands, swift action. I think that whatever you are having this surgery to correct, now somebody might go, oh my gosh, that means you have to rush quickly to the doctor as fast as you can if there's some problem. Well, that's for everything. Don't take any of this shit as medical advice. This is just me telling you about the events, not what you should do medically about those events. Okay, but just like, you know, what you can maybe kind of expect. Anyway. But what I'm taking this to mean is that once shit does get rolling, this is going to correct your problem fairly quickly. Things are going to be in action fairly quickly. Not like, oh my gosh, rush you to the emergency room, but like, oh my gosh, you know, the thing that I had the surgery for is like way better and cleared up really quickly. Now I just have to deal with this like stupid, shitty, harder than I expected period of whatever the hell is going on. Yeah. So, I mean, good luck with that if you haven't already had it. But I guess if you have already had it, I had surgery one time, it wasn't great. I ended up with occipital neuralgia for the rest of my life. And what that is the feeling of being electrocuted in your head, neck, spine, and upper arms. Randomly, a lot, when it feels like it.
In your head and arse?
What about your head and arse? What?
So you're gonna get electrocuted in your head and arse?
Why are you like Scott? What? Okay, Braveheart. What the fuck? You're the one going full on Rob Roy. Okay. Anyway.
Let me wash my vagina out and see.
That is a detail from that movie I completely forgot, but I wish that I kind of had because now I'm thinking about why do you always do this? You bring up things that are sad and tragic. Anyway. All right, let's take a look at what's happening here. Did I go all the way to the top? I did. Okay.
I myself.
So now we'll do what do I need to focus on in my relationship, especially in the short term? Where are we headed? That's right. I said I'd do another relationship one. I said I didn't want to do another relationship, but I'll do it anyway because I just said it. I don't want you to be like, oh. So, what do I need to focus on in my relationship, specifically in the short term? Where are we headed? Hey, guess what? Those are 3 questions, 3 cards. Thank you for making it easy.
Yeah, and for bounce out.
Yeah, while you're talking about being headed for Pound Town, your daughter was on this feed earlier.
Well, I told her not to be on here.
Oh, God. Traumatize my kids. When they show this in court at my...
Her bedroom is next to ours, so...
Yeah, I know. I feel bad for her sometimes. Oh, it's a good thing she's on that medicine that makes her so sleepy. Jesus Christ, that poor kid. She's like gonna be 16 and be like, I'm moving into the basement! And I can't! You can't do that! That's where we keep all the spiders! Alright. So, what do you need to focus on in your relationship? Especially in the short term, question mark. Where are you headed? Dun da da da. Alright. What do you need to focus on in your relationship? Especially in the short term. Where are we headed? Okay. So here's a story. A cheap British restaurant. Yes.
Funny guy town.
Yeah, it's like the dollar store. Of getting your vag plowed.
What? The dollar store.
Because somebody said, is that a cheap British store? Pound Town.
Pound town.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so cold on my teeth.
Are you still...
I'm still trying. I'm still working my way through this
Adult slushy?
adult slushy.
Why?
Made with wine.
What'd you think was
Well,
good?
I thought it was going to have hard liquor in it.
No, it's barely anything. It's...
Barely my ass.
What?
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 What? It's only 5%. It's only 10 proof. How am I this fucked up?
You're not.
I feel like I am.
Well, your body's lying to you.
Maybe it's the coldness. Maybe it's the coldness.
Good with cold.
On the other hand, that is still 10 fluid ounces of wine. So that's a couple glasses of wine right there.
Oh, it's not.
Technically, yes. A glass is supposed to be 4 ounces of wine. It's a half a cup, but they always say on those things where they're like, what should you do? What should you be drinking?
A bottle?
Warm cider. Because nobody put it in the refrigerator.
I put it in the Frigidaire. You just been letting it sit out.
It wasn't cold when it got here.
Yeah.
All right. You're getting exasperated in the background. Oh, that's what it's like to live with me. Every day he gets to live that. He gets to live. This is, yeah, he gets not the drunk part, but the demanding and shrill part. Okay, so your romantic relationship here. The first two things that came up are kings. This is very strong. This is a very, like, first of all, what do I need to focus on in my relationship? This is a very strong image. This is either you need to be pretty dominant in the relationship, you need to be driving it. I guess if it was the chariot. If it was the chariot, I would say it would be you need to be driving the relationship, but it might be that you need to be making, and I don't mean this in a way like you put the hammer down and you tell that partner what's what. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I think that your partner could be a little bit indecisive and that you need to be making some of the decisions for the relationship based on the fact that this person is terrified of making a decision. I think that's what's going on. In the short term, you've got the King of Wands, okay? I like this guy. He's always an interesting character. I enjoy him. Because there's lizards and lions on him. And I think that since you say in the short term, this is intuition into action, maybe part of the decision-making thing, maybe part of the whole you need to be taking a more assertive stance in the relationship thing might be that you need to be the person to propose moving something forward if you want to go forward. If you feel like you want to go to some other level. If we're talking, if you're saying, if you're thinking, man, it's time for me to be able to leave a toothbrush at this person's house, then, or if you're a woman dating a woman, maybe it's time to rent the U-Haul, because it's been 2 weeks now. No, it's true! Anyway, I'd be that way too. 100%. 100%. I would show up on the first date in a fucking moving truck. Yes, I am. I'm doing a love one. I'm doing what I need to focus on in my relationship, especially in the short term. Where are we headed? If that is yours, I will sort of reiterate. I don't remember. No, but it's like this guy you're supposed to be making a lot of the decisions because your partner is not good at making decisions or maybe doesn't pick up on things. So if we're talking of a thing like you need to go to a next step thing, like, oh, maybe I should propose bringing up, like leaving something at their house, or maybe you're at the point where you're like, maybe we should talk about making it exclusive or something like that. You're going to need to be right now in the short term the one that brings up those things, because this person feels very much like a person that would just be fine with everything the way it is, like forever. Like, not, and I don't mean specifically in your case, but I mean specifically in any part of their life. Just, yep, what's happening right now is fine. Unless they're drastically unfine with it, everything's going to be fine and nothing's going to need to advance or change. So you are going to have to sort of be the person that, whatever. So the Five of Swords, reverse, this is where are we headed? This is an odd one, I feel like, to come up in the relationship, because I always think of this card as being like, look at how, okay, look how sneaky that guy looks. Is he close to the mirror, or the CC thing and the eye man? Is he close to it? Can you see it? Anyway, he looks smug. He looks like, whatever, but like he's getting away with something, or sometimes I think it looks like he's being left with the bag. And this one always really brings to mind conflict and people walking away from conflict, but you not being able to whatever, but it's flipped over. So it makes me feel like the place where you're headed with this person is not a place of conflict, is not a place of anything like that. It's just stalemate, I guess. But I don't feel a huge conflict. It just feels like, and it doesn't really feel like an end either. Stasis! Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, yeah, okay. Stasis. Okay, so that's kind of what I think. If you're thinking in terms of, well, let's do two cards. Let's do 2 cards to clarify this. Let's talk about this partner's compatibility. So give us a picture of a way that they are compatible and a way that they aren't compatible. Is how we're going to dig into this a little deeper. 1 card for how they are compatible, 1 card for how they aren't. Stop licking the refrigerator. There's nothing on it.
What?
Nothing, not you. You're fine.
I'm in the refrigerator. For what?
2 clarifying ones. Way that they're compatible and way they're not compatible. Alright. Ba-doop-doop-doo. Oh, okay. We've got more, you have, what do you call it? Very strong, personalities. Even though this is a person who isn't necessarily forceful in the relationship, they have a big personality, you have a big personality. The reason I'm saying that is because the two things that just came up are, Mr. Jen, what's Mr. Jen doing back there? I don't know. He's just back there. You have a lot of people, you know, like the Queen, like Harry and Meghan, people, you know. Anyway, those kind of people with the pointy hats. Kings and queens. You got kings and queens in here. You got, I mean, there's 3 kings here. So I'm drunk. Okay, so the thing is, the place where you're compatible is emotionally, you guys are pretty open. And you guys are pretty in tune with your emotions and your feelings, and specifically with sort of kindness and compassion towards each other. This person looks really compassionate. So that's what I'm saying. But the place where you're not compatible is if you have this could be financial, but I feel like more it's each of you has things that are important to you. And the place where you're not compatible is that you're not going to compromise well together. All right? So I would say it doesn't look like there's going to be like some horrible breakup or anything like that. It just looks like what you're going to need to do is you might have to be the one that pushes for more, makes more decisions, pushes for change if there's going to be change. If you don't, then you're going to go into stasis. Thank you, Bunny, for knowing the word that I'm thinking of, or thinking of the word that I don't know. Oh my gosh, stop pushing that across the floor. It's so loud. Oh my god. And then the thing that you guys are really compatible emotion-wise, which should actually help really well with the other thing, but that you guys aren't going to compromise very well together. Which will also make you reach that stasis and or stalemate point of, baby, there's conflict, there's no conflict. That kind of thing. Oh god, please stop pushing that thing around. Okay. The dog keeps getting his foot caught on something and it's so loud. My computer went away. What's it going? Okay. Delete. Should I get a roommate to help out financially? I've never had one before. But you have the space. So let's take a look. Roommate. Let's do if you do and if you don't. Okay? Alright. Yes, you do need to know what you will and what you won't compromise about. You need to be honest about it, and you might need to be the one that brings this shit up. So if it's something like, hey, you know, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh, I see myself as, you know, a stay-at-home parent. And you're like, oh, that's fucking great because I am never having kids. Those are the conversations that you need to be initiating, because the other person is not going to initiate these conversations. Anyway. What are we talking about? Roommate! If you do or if you don't. If you do, if you don't. 6 cards. Should they get a roommate? Okay. If you do. And if you don't. Oh, get a roommate, please. You've got like a financial thing coming up here. I'm just gonna say, like, right off the bat, just get a fucking roommate. Like, I sound like Max Headroom. That's awesome. It's awesome that you remember Max Headroom. And it's awesome that I sound like Max Headroom on the feed tonight. Anyway, yeah, no, get a roommate. I'm not gonna go through all the cards one by one. Because what I'm seeing here is just a very clear, if you do get a roommate, okay, you need to vet them thoroughly, because the Emperor came up. So you need to be a little choosy, you need to vet them thoroughly, and you need to make clear what your expectations are right out of the gate. So that's why the Emperor came up. The Sun, though, is like all systems are go for launch. Beautiful day. Lovely day. Perfect day. Which in hindsight, there have been things that have launched unsuccessfully on perfectly beautiful days. So let's just forget that I even said that part. But what I mean is, like, do it. And the Page of Cups, that I think goes back into the vetting thing. And I think that's you're not going to be, like, really good friends. Do you know what I mean? So. But yeah, it looks like you're going to have, like, a money thing coming up. That's not going to be great. It's going to stress you out. There's going to be a lot of conflict and shit over money. This is the if you don't. So it's not like you're going to be in conflict with somebody over money because they're your roommate. Like there's going to be some sort of money conflict coming up that's not going to be great. And you're going to have to, like, really fucking start over, like, with savings and shit like that. So mitigate that. Please, go get a thing. It's your first time tuning in and you're all hyped. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, since it's your first time, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna do this. Where's your question? Yeah. Okay. There's like a whole bunch of things. I'm like, which one is yours? But that's like, I hate to. All right. Kiana? Did you graduate medical school? Oh, about being a black female writer? Okay. It was either that or something about medical school. So I was like, well. Oh! Wait, I know you! Don't you live, like, nearby where I live? I think. Don't you? Maybe? Oh my gosh, Penny, you've got, like, 2 out of 3. Just start writing and you did it! Okay, so, alright, so, boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so you live, like, near me. Yeah, no, I know who you are now from Twitter. Yeah. Yeah, I know who you are, Kiana. Okay. And, am I pronouncing that correctly? Kiana? I'm, like, pronouncing it that way because, of, you know, it just phonetically. But sometimes people have differently pronounced names. So. Alright. Let's see what's up. And next time you won't have to share your question with everybody. It could be anonymous. All right. I'm a black female who's also an aspiring writer. I currently work a shitty day job that really riles up my depression. Currently, I found my escape in writing contemporary romance or geeky black female characters. I daydream about quitting my job after getting an agent and getting published. Am I dreaming too big? Will I be successful someday, or will I be stuck in dead-end jobs forever? Oh, that's amazing. If anybody out there, speaking of geeky black female characters, Talia Hibbert has a really good book I'm too drunk to remember the name of, but I imagined the hero was Chris Hemsworth. Apparently it was supposed to be Chris Evans, but to me it was Chris Hemsworth. Anyway. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see 10 cards. What you 10 cards for your writing career. 10 cards for that. 10 cards about your dream. Your dream. 10 cards about your dream. Let's do it. All right. Oh boy. Okay, so right, you're not kidding. You don't like your job. But there's good news here. Okay. Wow, okay. So yeah, you don't like your job. Right now, you ow! I just hit my knuckle on the table so hard. Ow. Oh, I better put some alcohol on it. Okay. Anyway. Wait, what? Put a link. Get a link to your fucking video. Get a link to your video and put it in here right now. Or if you don't want to put it in here, put it in my email, jenny@jennytrout.com. I gotta see that. Okay, because that sounds like it's right up my alley. So, anyway. You feel like you aren't making any forward progress at this fucking job. You don't feel like there's any action you can take to make this better. And weirdly, you are crossed by strength. Part of your misery is that you know that you could be doing something else. Part of your misery is that you are, like, I don't want to say strong-willed because we always think of that as a negative thing. And it's not negative, but we think of it as negative. But you have drive. You have a lot of drive. Hang on, wait, what? What about Lindsay? Oh, Bunny, Lindsay and I. Lindsay and I know each other. Not like we've never met in person, but we know each other online. We have the same stalker. And so me and her and Mara Wilson met and sort of bond. Well, I mean, she and Mara Wilson, I think, knew each other already. But I met her and Mara Wilson online because we had the same stalker, and we kind of like bonded over that. And so we're internet friendly. I would say we are internet friends because I feel like, you know, I'm not name dropping. I'm just explaining, Bunny, that's why I get responses from her, sometimes combative about Ed Sheeran. And she and Lindsay Ellis and my daughter are locked in this battle because my daughter really liked the Phantom of the Opera movie, and she loves Garrick. And so she and Lindsay are going to battle it out to the death one day. Anyway, so, but no, you have a lot of drive. You have ambition, but there is like there's a determination that can be detrimental. Okay? And I don't mean detrimental to you, but detrimental to handling situations. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I wish I could just walk away from this job, but I know I gotta stick it out and I gotta do what I have to do, and it sucks, and I wish I could just blow it off. Okay? So anyway, yeah, stream of consciousness. Sorry to get off track. Sorry about that. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just had the horriblest thought. Not about the reading, it's about something else. Anyway. The best that you can hope for in this, he was like a guy who, the stalker, I'll tell you at the end of this, you know, because it actually was the thing that I thought about. The Queen of Wands is, like, the best you can hope for in this current situation, and literally that if you are stuck in this situation that you don't like, in this job where you feel like there's no advancement, you're not going ahead, the best that's going to happen is you're just going to be like, this sort of like, okay, one day at a time, I'm just going to keep going, I'm just going to keep at it, and just one day at a time, alright? So that's your job now. The rest of the reading, that's not saying that that's what's going to happen. That's what's saying that would be the best that you could hope for if nothing changed. Okay, but we can always change things. We can always change things. In the past, you have been sort of very... Yeah, like look at this card, for one thing, an ace, is always a beginning, because there's like a little story that each suit tells, okay? And this story is action. It's an action movie, and it's the beginning of the action movie. It's the call to adventure, okay? So you have had a lot of those sort of call to adventure moments in your journey, career wise, where you've been like, yes, this is the thing, call to adventure. Yeah, I know what I want to do with this now. Oh, I'm so excited, I figured it out. You know, like things like moments like that, and they might be big moments, they might be little moments. But either way, you had some enthusiasm, and you were very enthusiastic. This also, I think I get a very strong feeling that that is the way that you approached writing as a result, because you have approached other things that way, and perhaps like the job that you're in, maybe when you went into it, you went, this is going to be this whole new thing, and I'm totally, you know, happy for this job, and then things didn't turn out. You might be, as a result, thinking of the writing thing in the same sort of way of like, I have no control over anything, and I am just, you know, like this is more recent. You may be, due to the lack of control that you are feeling in your job, feeling like you have no control over whether or not you're going to be able to achieve this dream, okay? Here's the thing. You are about to start off on an incredible journey again. Now, this is a journey that begins with the page. The suits at the end, the face cards at the end of a suit are also they're kind of like little indicators of steps along the way. You are not quite yet a knight. You're not quite yet ready for just whoosh ahead. Meaning, you are not ready to quit your job yet. Obviously, you know that, because you've got strength crossed there. You know what you need to do. But you're not quite there, but you're at least in training. You've taken more steps, and you're going to take more steps along on your writing journey and the journey towards getting your dream coming up here soon. And that's going to be just like little things like maybe, hey, why don't you come to my writing group? Just contact me. I've got a writing group in Grand Rapids. I don't know if you work on Saturday mornings, but the second Saturday and this is anybody in the area, by the way, the second Saturday of every month, the Grand Rapids Region Writers Group meets in Grand Rapids, okay? What they do up there is we get together at a restaurant, we have a little business meeting, we have lunch, and then after lunch we have a speaker, but the real value in it is that you meet all of these people, right? All of these other writers and all of that shit. Now, here's the thing. You can come to 2 meetings. Like I said, this is for anybody that might be in Grand Rapids. Please, if you're going to murder me, if you're the stalker, don't do it at this restaurant. They're very nice. It's hard to find a restaurant that can accommodate large groups like us. And if you kill me at the restaurant, they might not let us come back, or let the rest of them come back. I don't want to spoil it. So if you are in fact a stalker or something and you're going to murder me, not you, Kiana, personally, just anybody that's watching, and you are going to murder me, please do it in the parking lot. All right? Anyway, the point is that this is a writing group, and you meet people and you sort of see people at all sort of stages of their journey. So if it's something you're interested in, get in touch with me, and I can give you information and stuff like that. Anyway, moving on. That's just a thing that I thought of. I'm sorry. That's not part of the reading. That's just me saying that you need to, you know, like not you need to, but like you can if you'd like to. All right, so what I'm seeing coming up here is the Three of Swords. All right. This is not generally a great card. Okay. But it's reversed, so I'm going to read this as internal. You might be in a place now where any setbacks feel like the end of the line. Okay? You feel maybe a little bit already pessimistic. And I can see why, especially with like the stuff that's been going on Twitter and stuff about the Ritas and the Golden Heart and stuff like that. it might seem right now like, it might be very easy. I mean, like, I can't put myself in your shoes, obviously. But what I'm seeing from this is the feeling of like, okay, any other little, like one more thing, and that's it. I have to just sort of be like, it's never going to happen. And that's because the outside is disaster. This is not bad for you. This is just outside influences. You've either gonna have something personally going on, or it's going to just be sort of other circumstances. There's going to be circumstances that are just disastrous, that feel like I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to whatever. Ooh, my burp. It's going to feel that way from the outside, this like pressure on you. Okay, of like, oh my gosh, and then you're going to have this with this one little thing. But here's the deal that I'm going to tell you. All right. The next one we have is temperance reversed. If temperance this way, I always say here's temperance this way. Is you should be. Yeah, there will be less witnesses, buddy. That you should sort of be like more patient and like more looking at both sides and all of that. Blah blah blah. You don't need to look at anything going on ever anywhere. You need to just focus on your own thing. Like your fear. There seems to be some bit of a fear here that if you're not keeping your eyes on everything, like if I am not working super duper hard at the writing right now, and I'm not succeeding by this milestone, or I'm not succeeding by whatever, then it's never going to happen. Like, but if I'm not focusing on my job and the part that makes money and all that, then I'm never going to be able to, like, it's like very chaotic feeling. It feels very much like I need to concentrate on my writing so that I can advance. And then I can get out of this job. And then the writing is what's going to save me from this job that I have to make money. All right? But on the other hand here, you've also got this feeling of, if I'm not concentrating on my job, I won't have the money, bad things will happen, and I won't ever get to the point where I can quit. That's kind of a going around thing in this situation that you need to definitely look out for. If you find yourself having those thoughts, this is the warning. Like, don't have those thoughts, because it's going to lead to this feeling of everything is ashes, everything is terrible, and this is just one more sign that I shouldn't. This is the card telling you that you need to shut that off. Stop trying to look at every part of the thing, and just focus on one thing when you need to focus on that, focus on the other thing when you need to focus on that, go from there. And because your outcome is going to be, when you start doing that, when you stop trying to look to keep there's 3 here. So I feel like it's your job and the thing that you want to, and the thing, the writing thing that you want to do. And then there's one more thing. Okay, there's one more thing right there. So I don't know what the other thing is, but there's another area of your life that you're thinking, they all feed. But the thing is when you stop trying to see everything at once, you're going to see a path that you didn't know that you had before. You're going to see an option that you didn't know was there before. You just have to look away from the ones that are in front of you, the sort of cycle that you're stuck in, mental wise. This is a very positive reading. It might not feel like it's a positive reading, but this is a positive reading, because what it's saying is it's not saying give up, it's never going to happen. It is, however, saying that it's going to happen in an unexpected way. Something is going to happen, and it might not be exactly what you're picturing, but something is going to happen in an unexpected way if you stop focusing so hard on making it all happen, like forcing it to happen the way that you think that it should, or on the timeline that you think it should, that sort of thing. So it looks pretty good. And I think you should go to a writing meeting. And I can tell you where it's at. And anybody else, if anybody else lives in the Grand Rapids area, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. But let me know if you're the murderer. Oh, stalker story. This is a story of the stalker. It was just this guy, and he seemed really, really nice. And he would but he didn't seem I'll take a look. He didn't seem like I can't like, he was friendly. He didn't seem though like he quite had an adult understanding. Like he didn't seem like a kid, or a teenager, but he didn't seem like as an adult like maybe he was neurotypical. He definitely didn't come across as neurotypical. And there was a very his social skills were not real sharpened. He didn't take a hint real well, things like that. Yeah, she said she's not the murderer, so we're good. Anyway, he started out and he would like, you'd be on there and he would be like, "Hi, how are you?" on Twitter. And you'd be like, good, how are you, blah blah blah, or whatever. And you'd have like, but it'd be like little like one word chats or whatever, and it was very persistent. Like if you were on there, you would be like, you'd say something on Twitter and it'd be like, "Hi, how are you?" And like maybe you wouldn't come back to it, and then it'd be like, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?" And so I started talking to him just, because I was like, I don't want to rule out talking to somebody or ignore somebody just because maybe they're not as good with social cues and communication. I don't want to be like one of those people that's like, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you." So I think that, I don't know what was going on with him. But after a while of just being polite and stuff, he would ask weird questions. And the weird question he would ask about burping. He'd be like, "Oh, can you burp?" Like one day he just out of the blue was like, can you burp?" And I was like, "Yeah, everybody can burp, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, but do you burp?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he started talking about burping, and like all the time. And he'd be like, "Well, will you make a video of you burping?" And so, and then I was like, no. And like at first I thought he was joking. At first I thought it was like a funny, like, like, "Oh, make a," I was like, yeah, I totally will. And then like I think it was Lindsay that may have gotten in touch with me, and she was like, "Look, let me tell you what's going on." And there was somebody else involved too, who I know I still know and that I still talk to, but I can't remember which person I met around that time it was that was involved. And so I looked, so I went and I looked on his Twitter, like his, replies and stuff. And he was asking all sorts of women on Twitter, like, to make videos of burping and all of that, which the thought that I had was the fact that I burp a lot when I'm doing this. I'm like, what if he's watching this and like jacking off to it, like jacking off to me burping because I'm drunk. Anyway, then it was really creepy. But at the same time, I was kind of like, okay, this person like clearly has some problem with social cues and picking up social cues and what is and isn't appropriate. And but I didn't say anything about it being inappropriate. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore like when he talks about burping. I'm gonna continue to just be nice but not talk about burping. Well, I made a video, and when I made the video, I didn't burp in the video. And all of a sudden he left this angry ass message on the video. It might still be on the video. It might still be on the comments, where he was just like, "You lied to me and you betrayed me," and all this stuff. And I started getting all this shit on Twitter about like, "You lied to me. You said you were gonna blah blah blah, and you did," and it was very like, demanding and all this. And I was like, okay, I gotta block this guy. So I blocked him. And then he came back with another account, and you could tell it was his account. Because it was like the same, like he had a certain product in his username, and then he came back with a different product, but the second half of the username was the same, but it was like the same kind of, I'm not trying to get like, we'll say shoes. We'll say shoes for, it wasn't shoes, but we'll say it was shoes. That it was like Nike U. And then he came back on a dummy account that was like Reebok U. So you could tell, what it was. And he got reported to Twitter because I know that he lived nearby someone involved in this whole ring of whatever, because he lived by them and he had found out where they lived. And the police had to be called and all of this stuff. He ended up getting banned from Twitter. He came onto Tumblr and was trying to contact on Tumblr. I had to contact Tumblr and be like, hey, this guy's a stalker or whatever. And it was really weird for like a while. But the good news was he had great taste in women, and I met some wonderful friends who I treasure. And that's the story. You know, it's so fucking women. The fact that women have that kind of story about how they met, like, somebody that they think is cool. Like, oh, I met this really cool person. She was so neat. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how did you meet her? Oh, we had the same stalker. Like, come on. Come on. Anyway, somebody just asked a really quick question about, the job. I'm going to go ahead and just do, if it's all right, a really quick pendulum reading. And I'm not even going to have to use my board for this because I got the board out, but I know yes and no. So it's not a big deal. All right. So will this person get the job that they're interviewing for? So I'm getting a circle, and it's not resolving to any particular one thing. So either you're not supposed to know, or it's undecided. But there's no, it's just in an increasingly widening circle here that is just going around and around. So either you're not supposed to know, or there's some massive variable. I hope it's not like, you get hit by a bus or something. That's terrible! You're not gonna get hit by a bus. You're not gonna get hit by a bus. Hang on. Will the adrift get hit by a bus? You're not gonna get hit by a bus. Good news. Good news. You're not getting hit by a bus. But, yeah, there's, somebody said that the person interviewing you might not know. I wonder, you're being properly interviewed by a temp agency. All right. So in this situation for the adrift, does the person making the decision even know yet that they're going to be interviewing the adrift? Yeah, that's the variable. Whoever it is that you're going to be interviewing with, they don't even realize they're interviewing you yet. So that could be why it can't be read. Yeah, that's like the first thing that came to mind. The decision is probably going to fall to somebody who has no idea that they're going to have to make a decision at all. So that's a pretty big variable. Anyway, so I am... Alright. Okay. Alright, so it's like an hour and a half now. I'm gonna go, because I'm pretty drunk, but I don't want to be blacked out. I don't want to be blacked out and miss the train to Pound Town. So, I'm gonna go... Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Oh, by the way, people say there's that fight over how many chugga chuggas before you say choo choo. I say chugga, 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 choo choo. I say 3, and everybody is doing it in even numbers. And that doesn't make any sense. So, feature length, I'm gonna go get on the train to Pound Town, and I will... Did you just hear me say that for the first time? I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar YouTube